Hey guys, this is Chaney77, coach of the Brisbane Heatrans, here with my draft analysis for a 5-week tournament set up by Matrix. And yeah, this draft was a GBA style draft, but with slight changes to the tiers. So what I mean by GBA style draft is all the Pokemon are sorted into 5 different tiers. The first tier, the best tier, is reserved for mons that are, really good. Can be, hit really hard or are really defensive, or can play a variety of different roles. And then you have the tier 2s down to tier 3s, tier 4s, tier 5s. Tier 5 is the biggest tier because it has all the leftover mons. So yeah, the tiers aren't necessarily even in number, or they're not at all. So when you draft, you have to have a total of 11 Pokemon, 1 Mega, Pokemon from tier 1, Pokemon from tier 2, 2 from tier 3, 1 from tier 4, and 1 from tier 5, leaving you with 4 Pokemon which you can pick however you want. So with the 4 picks, you have a total of 400 points to use. Those points are based on the tiers. So tier 1s are worth 180 points, tier 2s are 120, tier 3s are 100, tier 4s are 60, and tier 5s are 40. So if you do your maths correctly, you can grab 4 tier 3 mons, or a tier 1, tier 2, tier 4, tier 5 mon, stuff like that. And with the Mega, they are also tiered, so you can gain extra points by picking a Mega that is perceived as not as good in this format, allowing you to draft better mons that are not Mega. So we actually got the first pick in this draft, and as you can see, we drafted Manaphy. And yeah, not gonna say I'm disappointed, because I'm not. It was a toss-up between Manaphy and Jirachi, and I felt that, and I wanted to use Manaphy more this time. I've been wanting to use it for a long time, and I finally get to pick it before I get sniped. Because it's not coming back to me in the second round. And sadly, yes, Jirachi did get taken before I could grab it. But very happy with Manaphy. It's very famous or infamous for its Tail Glow set. Tail Glow 3 attacks, or Sub Tail Glow, or it's an absolute monster once it sets up, and not many things can take 2 hits from it. Yeah, but that's not the only thing Manaphy can do. It can, being a pixie with base 100 stats in all its 6 stats, it can take hits, be defensive, and has recovery in the form of Rest Rain Dance. And it can also be a utility mon, with knockoff and U-turn, which I haven't seen run much, if at all. But yeah, look out for that set. But yeah, this Pokemon is really versatile, just like Mew. Probably not as versatile, because Mew has all the setup options at its disposal, as well as hazards and hazard removal. But Mew is very special in this draft league format. The next pick, I wanted to pair it up with something that would cover Manaphy's weaknesses in grass and electric. I considered picking Zapdos again, but I thought I shouldn't, because I've had it in, I think, the past 3 leagues I've been in, something like that. And I thought, I might get bored using it. So I didn't pick it this time, but I thought, why not try out a Mega that is really good in the format, but fairly hard to use in Mega Charizard X. This covers both of Manaphy's weaknesses in Electric and Grass, and is a monster in its own right, with base 130 attack with, that's before the Tough Claws boost, which means that its attack is really, it just hits really, really hard, with setup options like Dragon Dance and Roost. Can run Roost Willow, but more likely than not, you're going to be running the sweeping set. Also has access to Belly Drum. Belly Drum Flame Charge could tear through teams. Sets that I'm excited to try, and hopefully I can be able to use this mon correctly, and yeah, just bring out its potential in this format. And with the wheel pick, I thought, what is a great Manaphy counter? Most electric types are going to be the ones trying to take out Manaphy, so why not pick arguably the best and one of the hardest hitting electric types in Thundurus Therian, with a base form 45 attack. That's just crazy. I picked Thundy. These 3 mons all have, their speeds are pretty much identical, and I really considered picking Thundurus Incarnate instead, just because it has its speed tier fits a little better on the team, but I thought having this sort of Volt Absorb, so electric immunity, would be really helpful, really beneficial, just to stop people volt switching around. It just takes out a counter, I guess. It makes people think twice about clicking electric moves when Manaphy is in. And once again, it doesn't take any damage from electric attacks, and it resists grass. So another mon that resists both of the weaknesses of Manaphy. And so yeah, I'm just trying to build that supporting cast around Manaphy. More setup options with Thundurus in Double Dance, so you got agility and nasty plot. And yeah, this thing is just here to wall break and here to hit things really hard. The next pick, I had to wait another 30 picks because it was a snake draft. So what that means is I get the first pick, wait for 15 people to draft, and then we go in the opposite order. So 1 to 16, then 16 to 1, then 1 to 16, so on and so forth for 11 rounds. And when it got back to me, I thought it would be time to pick some hazards and some hazard removal, and that came in the form of Donphan. Not really, Donphan is okay. I didn't want to pick up Fortress because of its ×4 weakness to fire, because I don't really like picking mons with ×4 weaknesses. It makes it too easy to check it. But so I picked Donphan instead, And Donphan, it's fairly one-dimensional, but it has, great utility in the form of stealth rocks, rapid spin, knockoff, and good priority as well, which my team, needs, or it hasn't gotten any yet. So that's really nice. And with more abilities to set up with rock polish, and really nice coverage moves. He gets play rough, gets the quake edge. It gets gunk shot as well, I'm pretty sure. So that's really nice. And yeah, at this point, next pick, really needed some speed, and that came in the form of another ice weakness in Crobat. So Crobat, yeah, as you might have seen in my last draft analysis, no, you wouldn't have. Crobat is, yeah, it's good. It's fast. It can be run physical or special. It can be nasty bat. Can be defensive because although its defenses do not seem that impressive, invested correctly, they actually they do the job, and that's pretty much what you need. It does, and it has access to defog as well, so this thing is very versatile. Banded Brave Bird hits really hard, and Nasty Plot, more setup with Nasty Plot, and yeah, this thing is there to check the fairies and to wreck shop. And so yes, as I mentioned, developing an ice weakness, so I needed things that resisted some ice attacks, because right now it's only Manaphy that's resisting, and we got 3 things that are super effective, and Charizard takes it neutrally, so I picked up Miltank. Miltank has the ability Thick Fat, which halves those ice attacks, half ice and fire attacks, but it also gets 2 other great abilities in Scrappy, which allows the normal type attacks to hit ghost types, and Sapsifter, making it immune to grass type attacks. So once again, helping out Manaphy, we got 1 grass immunity, 1 electric immunity, and things that will play into the opponent's minds when they see both Thundurus and Miltank, Thundurus and Miltank, whether they have to be careful which button they press, otherwise it could be giving me an attack boost. And Miltank is pretty quick for a wall, I guess. It's mostly seen as a wall or a defensive Pokemon with access to Stealth Rock and Milk Drink. Once again, its defenses are solid, they do the job, and not too much to say about Miltank. Fairly simple Pokemon. Could be run offensive some weeks, especially with the Sapsifter boost. Hits pretty hard after that. Also, getting off those body slam paras will be very nice, and nice coverage in Earthquake as well. So that was the first 6, and moving on to the next one, we have Virizion. Now, Virizion, yes, it is another ice weakness, but this mon was in tier 5, and originally I was going to pick up Roserade instead of Virizion, but I got sniped, I think 2 picks before me, or 3 picks before me, something around there. So I thought, the second best option would be going Virizion, because for a tier 5 mon that has 108 speed, which makes up for some of my makes up for a pretty big speed tier drop between Crobat and Virizion, and with access to Carmine and Swords Dance, more setup with this mod, and just very nice coverage in grass and fighting. Yeah, this mod gives me some fighting stab, which is something that I also needed, and completes my Fire Water Grass Core with Manaphy and Charizard. So very happy to get this Pokemon, interested to try it, even with its weaknesses, especially Ice, which doesn't really help my team, but we'll try to make that up towards the end. And so right now I still hadn't picked my my tier 2 mon, and personally tier 2 as a tier is probably my least favorite, because a lot of things there are either priced too high or too low. I think the best one in there is Suicune, but I couldn't pick Suicune because I have Manaphy, and I was looking at Galvantula for possible sticky web support, but then I thought I need more of a specially defensive wall, just something that I can rely on when I need it to take hits, and also missing a fairy type, so I picked Florges. And if you look at the base special defense, it's ridiculous, it's so high. But yeah, this mon is, to me, I'm not sure about it, because it seems very one-dimensional. It's kind of like Chansey, where kind of what it's going to do. If you see it come, you just have to prep accordingly. But it gets set up options with Carmine, so maybe I could use it like a Suicune, but Suicune's physical bulk is what makes it able to set up Carmines, and this physical bulk is lacking with Florges. So not super happy with this pick, but it does give me a fairy type, which is nice, because right now, up until this point, Dragon Spam was a real threat. I had no steals, I had no fairies. Any dragon would have run through my team. So Florges would kind of puts a stop to that. And yeah, that's what it's here for. And the next pick to complete my Dragon Fairy Steel Core, and to add as a nice ice resist, we have Metagross. Now, Metagross is a Pokemon that I haven't seen used too often in League format, and intrigued to use it because its attack and defense is very nice. Special defense as well is pretty solid, and with nice coverage, access to rocks as well, and nice priority as well with Bullet Punch. Also gets Rock Polish, so more setup options, and I'm interested to see what Metagross can do for me. It's one of the it's probably my favorite shiny. It just looks so cool, and it's mon that I haven't seen a lot of in draft format. Mega Metagross is broken in draft leagues. because it's just way too powerful with its tough cores boost. Not enough checks to it. But you know, normal metagross will be interesting. Stealth rock options, you know, I added another one to Donphan to take that pressure off Donphan. And you know, it's a little bit slow, but it's good because it kind of makes up for that massive speed drop from, you know, base 100 to, I think, well, Donphan was 50. What's Forge's? 75. Okay, so it's not that bad. But it, yeah, kind of makes up for that base 80s area, which you know, the likes of Mammoth Swine, the Nidos, but yeah, something to, yeah, nice steel type. Complete that core. And the next mon, we have another ice resist and another spinner and Kabutops. This mon, I guess, would only be seen in rain teams, but you know, it's a nice cheap pick. Gives me another form of hazard removal. So you got two spinners, a defogger, another stealth rock user, another form of priority in Aquajet, and really nice defense stat. And with the last Pokemon, I could pick another tier 4, and I decided to pick up Mesprit as my bulky psychic. And Mesprit is nice. Out of the 3 of Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf, I think Mesprit, personally, I think Mesprit is the best because it has versatility, being able to be defensive and offensive, whereas Azelf can't really be defensive and Uxie can't really be offensive. Mesprit also gets Healing Wish, which is really nice. So Healing Wish can, you know, bring back one of my sweepers, and you know, I can play a bit more recklessly, I guess, to try and wall break, and then bring it back to sweep in the end. So Mesprit's really nice in that regard. Also has access to U-turn and stealth rocks, and yeah, that's basically my team. Let you guys know what you think. Yeah, so hopefully we can get this league done and dusted before Sun and Moon comes out. And but yeah, because by then we'll be all focused on Sun and Moon. Oh yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Catch you guys later.